All right. What's up, guys? JS Garrett here. And before I get started, I'd like to remind you to please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, which you're watching right now. So, tonight we have a hurricane blowing in, a lot of bad weather, which means JS has a night off because most of my ritual work for clients is done outside. So what do I do on my free time? I like to do experiments. So tonight I will be doing a baneful experiment utilizing this Radionics box and this new baneful elixir that I received from Connor Kendall. This guy put a lot of time and effort into making this, and I will tell you that it just feels evil when you touch the bottle. So I do not use this without wearing rubber gloves and a face mask. So to explain to you what I'm going to do tonight, I'm going to try to kill an asshole. This man is an abuser of children, okay? One of the things I hate the most in the world. Child abuse, rapists, and pedophiles. So it is a person who is very deserving of such an experiment. And I'm going to use this box combined with this oil and a few other baneful implements to see if I can drop them, to see if I can put them in the fucking ground. So we will do this experiment and see what happens. To give you a brief explanation of what I'm going to do, I've got my asshole's picture on the target plate of the Radionics box. Now, just so you know, this is the Rad 2400 that I purchased from OrgoneGenerator.com. It runs you about 2,500 bucks, but it's actually worth it because it works. And then on the trend plate, I have the Destruction Pinnacle of Saturn to be used in all operations of death and destruction. All right, so what I'm going to do, I also have a chicken heart. I have some coffin powder, which is a paralytic. It's another reason I need to wear a face mask so that I don't inhale any of this. And I have a black candle here that I have inscribed my target's name and birthday into. I also have some locust thorns that I'm going to utilize in this experiment. So what I'm going to do, I've already charged and opened the sigil. I've already pulled my target's essence into his photograph, as well as written his name and birthday on the back of his photograph. That should allow me to dial directly into his personal frequency using this Radionics box. I'm then going to place the chicken heart on top of his photo and dial into that frequency as well. This allows me to target the heart specifically, getting this chicken heart to vibrate at the same frequency as this man so that it becomes his heart, like a little voodoo heart, I guess would be a good way to put it. Now, as far as a name for this rite, I'm going to call it the Drop Dead Fred, because that's what I'm trying to do, is make this guy drop dead of a fucking heart attack by attacking his heart specifically. So after I put the chicken heart on there, on top of his photo, and dial into that frequency, I'm then going to powder that with the coffin powder, and I'm going to coat the locust thorn in Connor Kendall's baneful elixir and stab it through that heart. All right, then I'm going to coat this black candle with his name and birthday carved into the side of that, and I'm going to set it on top of the trend plate, which projects into the target plate on top of the Satyrian seal of destruction. And then I'm going to sit here and I'm simply going to focus on the candle. After I light it, I'm going to stare at the flame and imagine him having a heart attack and dropping dead, and I'm going to imagine witnessing his funeral, standing over his open casket. Should be pretty simple. Simple enough for anybody watching to recreate. So we're going to see what this does. And, you know, the Radionics box is an extension of the sorcerer. So, in other words, whatever type of ritual that I do with this and whatever I program this box to do continues to broadcast as long as the box is left on. And so it's like I am consistently performing this ritual non-stop the whole time this box is left on. And I'm going to leave this heart sitting on here until it rots and decays. I don't care if it stinks up my entire house. I want to see this motherfucker drop. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to monitor the situation, and I'm going to see if he actually drops of a heart attack. And this will allow me to gauge the efficiency of this Radionics box. It will also allow me to gauge the potency of this baneful elixir. So let's get started. This is going to be fun. It's going to be fun to see how this plays out. So I'm going to go ahead and suit up here. I've got 2 sets of gloves because I'll probably need 2 sets of gloves. Don't want to get these implements on me because they are extremely dangerous and extremely deadly and extremely poisonous on their own. But the real power of these poisonous concoctions is the spirits that actually possess these concoctions, these implements. All right. Dr. JS is in the house. So, I'm going to take my chicken heart, place it on top of my target's photo. Now I'm going to sprinkle this chicken heart with my coffin powder. Before you do so, you want to activate it. You say, coffin powder, I activate you to attack the heart of my enemy. Put a nice little amount on there. Thank you. Now I'm going to add my baneful elixir. I'm going to activate that as well. Baneful elixir, I activate you to attack the heart of my enemy. Put a few drops on there. Now I'm going to take my locust thorn and I'm going to stab it through the heart, coated in the baneful elixir as well as the coffin powder. Man, that felt good. Now I'm going to cover this candle in the baneful elixir as well. Put a few drops on it. And I'm going to anoint it from top to bottom. Set it on top of the seal of destruction. Throw these away. All right. Now I'm going to turn the box on and use the sensor plate to dial into these frequencies. All right. So I've dialed into the frequency of everything that is on the target plate, which is the frequency of my target, as well as the heart and the implements. Now I'm going to dial into the frequency of the trend plate, which is the seal and the candle. All right. That's interesting. All three of these dials stopped right on 70, whereas these three dials are all different. So now I'm going to dial into the rate of frequency that I want to transmit the energy from this plate into that plate. Oh. All right, that's all the way up to 100. Very interesting. Very interesting. Now what I'm going to do is light my candle, and I'm going to focus my energy and intention onto the flame. The black candle pulls energy. So it's pulling my energy and my intention through this candle, through this seal of destruction, and then transferring it into the picture of my enemy, along with this chicken heart that's been poisoned with baneful implements, transferring all of this energy directly into their physical body. There's no special magic words here or anything like that. I'm simply going to focus on the flame. I'm going to visualize my enemy having a heart attack. I'm going to hold the vision as long as I can. it's done. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, my friends, that's all there is to this. That's really it. Programming the box with your intention, placing your implements on each of the plates, setting the box to the correct frequency, and using a baneful implement that is effective, which in this case is Connor Kendall's baneful elixir, as well as some coffin powder that I have purchased from a person on Facebook. And I would plug them, but it's been so long since I bought this that I can't quite remember their name. But this box will continue to broadcast my intention along with the power of these implements as long as I leave it turned on. So even after this candle burns completely out, if I leave this box turned on, then it is like I am constantly stabbing my enemy in the heart the whole time. And I'm going to leave it sitting here until this heart completely rots away and deteriorates. And we'll see how long it takes for them to drop dead of a fucking heart attack. I'm J.S. Garrett, and this is the Drop Dead Fred. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Please subscribe to my channel, and hail the Infernal Empire.